Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video on the channel. Hope you're all doing very well. I, on the other hand, am not doing very well. I'm just going to shove that in your face. If I sound different, it's because I currently have a cold. Didn't really want to record this video. I thought, what better way than to cure a cold by creating a sort of inspirational riff, shall we say. One that you'd normally see behind like a motivational speaker on Instagram or whatever. This is my sort of rendition of what that might be. Again, fairly short and sweet. You'll see in the video that I mentioned I struggle kind of getting into the verse sections of a song. Any tips and tricks from people that know better than I, please leave it down below. I'll be sure to read them and gain any advice I can. But without further ado, sit back, enjoy, and thank you so much for clicking on the video. That's our sort of underlying chord progression that we've got. And then on top of that, before we get to the tappy lead part I was saying, I was hearing sort of like a bouncy rhythm behind that. I think that sounds bouncy. I don't really know, but I thought it sounded kind of cool. So I'll try and play over that just to show you what I mean. Something like that. Yeah, so what I'm doing with that is I'm trying to get the bottom string muted. So with my palm, I'm just putting it on the side of the bridge there. So I'm going. So that high note, the bum bum. I'm trying to get that. So the D string, sorry. I'm trying to play that without palm muted, so I'm going up and down, up and down, up and down to give that, again, that bouncy feel that I'm looking for. Just like that, but if I can record it like that, that'd be great. Normally when I press the record, it doesn't go very well. Yeah, see, I like the first half, so we'll crop it there, or we'll flatten it, sorry. And then we'll just record for that second part. I'm going to change this second half of this 8-bar phrase to go from something like that. Yeah, we'll just hold on that note for the end. Hold on that last note, sorry, for the end. Bit of vibrato on there. Makes it quite a nice sort of underlying rhythm tone, I want to call it. But then for the main lead tone I've got, very much delay, very washed out, but I'm going to do some sort of tapping thing that I quite like. I see a lot of Instagram guitarists, they tend to do really fast cuts. They tend to play really tight lead sections. Tight meaning to the beat, or very cut. So like the noise gate, for example, on here cuts off any of this sort of static you can hear. And it just makes it really polished. But I think it can become a little bit too polished, particularly these popular Instagram guitarists. Enough yapping. I'm going to try and show you what I mean by the tapping lick I came up with. That, but over this. So we'll try and record it in, just because I'd rather get it right, and it's probably going to make my arm tired. That was pretty good for, I'll be honest, my second take. But all I'm playing there, sorry I didn't really explain it. What I'm doing is I am hammering on with my right hand the sort of the note that's changing. These two fingers here are just doing the same thing over and over again. So I'm going. Obviously really fast, so. And the difficult thing with that is to not end up doing, which is just, what I'm trying to do is go, and then all I'm doing after that is, after I've done that for a bar, I then change it up to a higher note, don't know what the notes are, higher note, and then back down to the start again. And now I've been contemplating whether I change up this second half. I like the first half already, and I think it's probably wise if I go back to this for the first bar. Yeah, I might just go 22nd fret all the way at the top, see how that goes. It was played very sloppy, so instead of me worrying about trying to get the perfect take for that final bar, because it involves a lot of changes, I am going to do what these Instagram guitarists do and not necessarily chop it, change it, but just record the bits that I want to get clean, basically. So if we delete that for now, and I'll just focus on that first bar for now, and I'll do each individual phrase sort of as they come. Right, that was pretty good. So we'll flatten that take, move the cycle over, and just do it with the next note. So we know we're going from here. Get that right. And we'll give it a listen solo, but we'll put some crossfades on each of the separate takes here. Just a small one, just so it isn't so blocky and doesn't sound so abrupt when it changes to the next note. So we'll listen to it in solo. Pretty good to me. I wasn't expecting there to be a gap at the end of the bar. I was supposed to be quite fluid. I don't actually mind that gap, but we'll see how it sounds in context, which is the most important thing. So I don't like it, so we're going to delete all of them and try and do it again. But I now know for the next time I record it, because it's mainly trial and error is the way I do it, is to just keep playing it over and over and over in the take, and then cut it down into the correct take I want by collapsing the take folder. See how that makes it work. 3, 4. You see how I played a little bit at the end there? Or carried on going even though the take was finished? That should then give me that last note that I want in there to then feed on into the next note change. See how it's smooth and cyclical? Cycle it over, play it in solo and see how it sounds. Yeah, so that last bar was a bit wrong, so we'll do that again. It's a little bit sloppy, but again, I only ever write demo tracks for YouTube, of course, because if I was trying to get perfect takes and everything, you'd be here for hours. But let's listen to what we have so far. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. We'll do some drums for that now. Can't be bothered to get the keyboard out, so we'll just program them in, which I'm not too sure what I'm going to do yet. So this is going to be a learning process for the both of us. So I'm hearing this when I'm playing that that sort of middle rhythm section I mentioned. I'm hearing that bass note quite pronounced. I'm going to tame that down a little bit, but it's inspired me a little bit for the bass kick, or the bass kick? The kick drum. And I'm probably just going to repeat that. Yeah. So I'm going to put the snare on the 2 and the 4, or do I just do it on the 3? So this is what, we'll try the 3 actually. I think because it's an intro. Nope, terrible. Put it on 2 and the 4. Yeah, so we're probably going to have a double cymbal crash, the first to begin with. Now I'm thinking, is it going to be sort of a ride section at the start? Maybe. I think just having the ride on the on the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess it's not the 4, the 8th notes for this. Another crash. Really, really guitarist programmed drum fill at the end. Rather than worrying about velocities at this point, I'm just trying to get the drum template down. I'd rather call it a template than the final drum section, because obviously the drummer is going to play it at 120 or the full velocity on every kick or every hit of the snare, but I need to get it quickly down so I can then focus on whatever the next section is going to be, bass, whatever. Okay, that's a really rough estimate of what the drums are going to be like. If I just record in some program in some bass now, it might not need it, thinking about it. It definitely needs it. So what do? We go open, so D. Boom, boom. Yeah, so I'm going to try and figure out what type of riff I'm going to play after this 8-bar phase. I like it so far, but I think it leads into, like last week's episode, called sort of a chuggy idea. But I'm thinking of having like a left and a right play, obviously like I've done with my doubles, but have it so it cuts out one side to the left, one side to the left, one side to the right. I'll show you what I mean once I've figured out what I'm going to do. Something like that, maybe. Dig-a-dum. Dig-a-dum, dig-a-dum, dum-dum-dum, dig-a-dum, dig-a-dum. I think that one was better, but we'll see. I'm losing my mind. Sure. But this is what I mean. So I'm going to go in here and just chop up wherever it ends. So here. Yeah, I don't mind that sort of section. I'm going to go over and retake these high lead sections because I think they don't go very well with the drums. But we're going to try again. See if that sounds any better. Yeah, I don't mind that. I think that sounds a bit cleaner now that I've done a retake on these final 4 here. I think that's enough for the guitar recording, so I'm just going to faff around with the velocities now. Probably going to do like a time lapse of just me trying to make it sound a bit more natural. Just added a couple cymbal crashes to the end there to lead on, hopefully then to a pretty heavy sounding verse. I know it's another intro of a song. I'm kind of struggling for ideas on how to move into a verse, so if anyone knows or can give me clues or hints and tips what to do, I'm more than welcome to read those in the comments. But without further ado, let's give her a final listen, shall we? So hopefully you guys enjoyed that riff. I certainly enjoyed making it, even if I feel like absolute crap at the moment. Yeah, trying to keep these uploads more consistent every Sunday. I'll be getting some lovely comments, particularly from this one guy on Instagram, you know who you are. So I just want to say thank you for that. Follow the socials if you haven't. I'm going to try and get some covers out in the middle of the week, just to try and get better at recording myself, speaking to the camera. I think I'm getting a little bit better, but it's still a bit awkward to me. So give me some slack on that part. But with that said, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, click it, what you doing. For those of you who have, thank you so much. And I'll see you in the next episode.